Hello, hello, hello. This is African diaspora teacher again, and I'm coming from the School of the Hard Knocks, where issues are picked up and then analyzed for public consumption, where people can really, really, really understand. And we make it so easy, We take the hardness out of the situation, and we explain it in a way that you could understand it easily. Lately, our people are coming to realization that they are the people of the book. And each time that they raise the topic, certain people who believed, or we have been made to believe that they are the people of the book, always come out and getting mad and ask our people to retract this, retract that. In the past, certain people make the link. There's a lot of research out there, There's a lot of research out there, but still we need to make more research because the hidden stuffs are in the language. The hidden stuff are in the language, and when we understand the African language and their pronunciation, we can figure out where all this thing, is leading to. So we can make those claims, with language better than what we see written in certain books, especially the Bible. What I know is a lot of people call us names that we don't know anything about. Again, a lot of people call us names that we do not know anything about. We don't even aware that they are calling us that name. So when you come back to us that are you those people, and we say no, people say, hey, you see, we went to West Africa and the people say they are not even Hebrew. Okay, it's so demeaning. I'll tell you right, it's so demeaning for Bantus, people who lived in Canaan. Our kings all the time tell the story. Our people tell the story where they come from. Okay, it's so wrong to say Africans don't know where they originate from, to where some of them are in Africa. It is our right to tell our story. Nobody can tell that story for us. So our people know where they come from, but they came from those places with a name. When they left, certain people made a name for them. So it is so demeaning for Africans who claim to come from that place to be saying they are Hebrew. It's so embarrassing for, say, Igbos or Asantis or Ebes claiming that they are Jews, because Jewishness is recent thing. So when people come to West Africa and come and interview our people, and they say we don't even know what Hebrew, we're not Hebrew. People say, yeah, you see, we telling you they're not from there. Okay, it's demeaning for anybody who is an Ewe or who is an Igbo to claim Jewishness. It's even embarrassing for the Falashers of Ethiopia to be calling them Jews, because these names are recent phenomena by a people a made up name. You see, it's not even in the Bible. Jew is not in the Bible until recently, to trick you. So let's listen to this man. I'm going to play audio, so we're going to do a lot of listening. Okay? We're going to do a lot of listening.
After a historic session with representatives of the three monotheistic religions, King Bulan, 7th century, decided against Christian and Islam, because Islam had just arisen, and selected as the future state religion the religious worship then known as Talmudism, and not known and practiced as Judaism, which was totally different, which was based on the Bible. They adopted the Hebrew alphabet, and the Khazars adapted words to their requirements from the German, the Slavonic and the Baltic languages. This language was known as Yiddish. And Yiddish used the Hebrew alphabetic characters, but not Hebrew. It's not Hebrew.
Okay, so these people use in European languages of Germanic, Slavic, some Russian language, put it together, just as English language has been. English use so many people's other languages and call it English. They're not different from these people, because this at the time where Europeans are coming to realization they want something for themselves, because the whole world have already gone way ahead of them. One book says the civilized world was 10,000 years ahead of Europeans. So when these people started coming to realization, what they call the Dark Ages, 700 AD, Islam just rise up in 600 AD, these people, so they were trying to get something for themselves. Everything has been already established. So they put three words together, use the alphabet of the Hebrew to write it. It's just like in Mali, they use Arabic letters to write the Mali manuscript in their languages. So it looks like Arabic, but it's not. If you read it, you cannot understand it because it was in a local language. Just as I will use the Abedede, to write my language, in my language, or to write Gan, or to write Yoruba, we use these alphabets, but with some variations which are not like the verb word. The verb letter and the in letter, three in the opposite direction. Okay, and okay, it's like three, but in the opposite direction, like E, but it's writing more like three in the opposite direction. That is not in the alphabet of the Roman alphabet or whatever alphabet that we use. It's not there. You see, so these people chose Hebrewic letters and to form a language. So when the novice look at it, this is Hebrew. The man says it's Yiddish, and it's Yiddish. Okay, let's continue.
It's Yiddish.
Yiddish.
I've always wondered, when I hear them speaking Yiddish, I understand quite a few words. Why? Because I'm German. They had many exchanges with universities and their students were trained. So here is another nation which had occupied this area, and they had adopted this religion and brought rabbis in and trained the people, but they were not Judean.
They brought our people in the so-called Middle East, northeastern part of Africa, which is now AKA Middle East, and we don't have Middle West, and to come and train their people. Listen history, and that listen.
Now let's jump to today in accordance to this history. The religion of the modern state of Israel is based on Kabbalistic and Talmudic traditions and is far removed from the biblical worship of Yahweh.
Wait over there. What is the word he just used? Yahweh. It's not Yahweh. It's Yahweh. But this is the first time I heard a Caucasian mention the word so close to the original. And that is the crust of my argument. But I just want us to have some history before we reach that letter called V. Yahweh. Yahweh. It's a Yahweh. Okay. When the English came to our country, they know the people, they know whom they are colonizing and selling. And most of the people who did this selling and colonizing are all these European Jews. They are in every country, in England, in Dutch, in the Netherlands. 60% of them are European Jews. They're in France, they're in Portugal, they're in Spain. They are neck deep into this. So when they reach Ghana, they tell us that Ewe, which is my people, should be called Ewe because they cannot pronounce the V letter. So even people of my own people who are in this ethnicity, went to school, and if you ask them, who are you? Oh, I'm an Ewe. And they tell strangers, oh, these are Ewe people, we are Ewe people. The British came and spoiled our name like that in our own brain. If you come and visit people and this is the way they call themselves, you have to try your best to call them the way they are because names mean a lot. Or a name means a lot to people. It has meaning to every name. But to fuck it up to the very people that is Ewe, because that's the way they could write it. We have a letter for it. We have a typewriter that could write it like that, but the English who were in my country, who were colonizing us, refused to use that when they are writing English. They call it, ours is vernacular. So you go to school, go to their school, you go to their missionary school, and you come out calling yourself Ewe. Okay? Listen again. You call yourself Ewe. You see? And the God that our people worship is Yahweh. The God that the other people worship is Yahweh. You see? And our people, some people call our people Ewe. The people, even especially our neighbors in these countries that we come from, call our people Ewe. That's the closest they could. If they can't pronounce Ewe, they say Ewe. These are Ewe people. These are Ewe people. Because the word "v" is hard for a lot of people to pronounce, to put on their mouth. They cannot pronounce this "v" letter. The accounts in Ghana can. We've been living with them for years. They cannot pronounce it. So when strangers come and visit Ghana, so those are Ewe people. So they live, and so we went to Ghana. The Ghana has some ethnic group. The Ewes, the Akans, the Gans. Ewe is not the way. And this Yahweh is their God of thunder and lightning, which we also call Hebieso. So means thunder. He is the lightning. The beer is firing. So it's like Hebieso mean light firing thunder. Hebieso. Anything that is beer is firing, is burning. A burning lightning, thunder, or something like that. Literally, just. So that's the nickname of Yahweh. You see. So this God in the Torah is a God of thunder and lightning in the Torah. I'm not going to be dragging anything into Hebrew or anything. Our people are not Hebrew, but they are the people. You see, so anytime people say, oh, these people claiming to be Hebrew, people come and fight them. That, who dare you? Why are you comparing yourself? Why can't you be yourself? Why are you claiming that you are a Jew? No, it's demeaning to be a Jew. It's demeaning to even call yourself Hebrew. And I'm going to prove it in another video where the people are saying, no, we are not Hebrew, we are Ewe. Okay, so...
the religion of the modern state of Israel is based on Kabbalistic and Talmudic traditions and is far removed from the biblical worship of Yahweh.
Okay, so you can see the closeness of this God most Christians call Yahweh, 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 Yahweh. It's not. The British show you it's Yahweh. The same way the British show you that the Ewe people is called Ewe. You see? So this is the closest a Caucasian have mentioned the name of God. But it is Yahweh, the God of thunder and lightning, or the God of lightning and thunder in the Torah. It's not the God that you think is sitting somewhere that you want to go sit on his right hand. It's not a human. It's a God of thunder and lightning. Okay, now let's go back to this one.
A good part of the last 98, that's what, 20 years? In Africa, in particular West Africa and in Israel. And I was surprised. I was up in the Volta region of Ghana, and the Ewe people were talking, and
What did he say?
I heard one. It was a church service, and he was talking about people out the Bible, and he said Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, and I said, well, that's Hebrew. He says, no, that's Ewe, that's Ewe. So I said, how do you say Jesus? He said, Jesus. And somebody else says, Yeshua. I said, I could tell what time you came out of that part of the land and came across just by the way you say things and the words. So I found out that most people in Africa trace their roots back to the northeastern part. Most.
Okay, this brother's name is Ben Ashon of the Brotherhood of African Hebrew Israelites in Jerusalem. He was giving a lecture in UK. Okay, he was in the Volta region, and the people were mentioning in the church, and they were mentioning names where, you know, his ears was trained to capture as Hebrew name, you know, Hebrew name. And the people say, hell no, we're not Hebrew. This is Ewe. This is Ewe. This is not Hebrew. You see, the people deny that name. It's not their name. They are the people, but that is not their name. It's just like calling Ethiopian by the Greek call the Cush, the Exomite. They call them Ethiopic. And they didn't even know that they were calling them Ethiopic. They have no idea. Even right up to the early part of the 20th century, that territory we call Ethiopia today was called Abyssinia. They didn't even know that they named them Ethiopic, which means the people of the burnt face. These people will give you name that you have no relationship with, and they'll be calling you, and you don't know they're calling you that. You see? You don't know they're calling what it is that you call somebody Ivorian. Is it coming from elephant tusk? And we accept that? That's demeaning. Our forefathers will never name their people according to any animal. They know the elephant. We know the elephant way before the European. In no way we could name our people as a group of people after some elephant. But when the European came and say your name is elephant, tusk, ivory, we accepted je suis Ivoirian. Come down to Cameroon, meaning shrimp. Cameroon means shrimp in Portuguese. And you, where are you from? I'm from Cameroon. What are you? I'm a Cameroonian. From shrimp? You see, the real people, if you go to Cameroon, probably a lot of people probably call themselves Cameroonian because there are so many nations within Cameroon. They will never call themselves Cameroonian. But as a nation, yes, You see. So the people in Volta region who were mentioning names in what you would call Hebrew said, yeah, that is not Hebrew. This are, it's Ebed. It's Ebed.
That most, I said, I could tell what time you came out. So 98, that's what, 20 years?
Listen to the man again.
In Africa, in particular West Africa and in Israel. And I was surprised. I was up in the Volta region of Ghana. And the Ewe people were talking. And
what did they say again?
I heard one benefit of being able to live.
Ewe people of
I
Ghana.
was surprised. I was up in the Volta region of Ghana. And the Ewe people were talking. And I heard one.
That's the right pronunciation of the people. This is a brother who went on fact-finding mission because they've been living in Israel, this new place called Israel, northeastern part of Africa, for some time, and they have come to realization that they are the people, but they want to know more, not based on the Bible, because these people have surpassed the Bible. The speculation which a lot of people involved in the West here, these people are living now in the land. And then they got the story from the Bible that this could be us. And when they went to the land, they were hungry for more. This is what I want my people in America, the so-called Hebrew Israelites, to do. The link is in the language. Every name in the Bible that they call the Philistine, these, that, are not connected to us. We are there. We are the people. Philistine? No. Even Carthaginians? No. You see? If Hannibal could come back today, he would tell you, I ain't no Carthaginian anywhere. They have a name, but the people on the other side look at us and give us a name. You see? When they were calling Ethiopians, they didn't know that they were calling them Ethiopian, but they just had found out that their geographical location and who they were and what they did in history was captured in a good book more than anything else, that if they do not claim it, they will give it to Switzerland. If the Ethiopians have not claimed that name, it will have been given to Palermo, be given to Sicily, or be given to Switzerland. And then they'll be telling you the people in the Bible called Ethiopians are in fact Caucasian in the Swiss Alps. You see? So they claimed it. They claimed it. Get rid of Abyssinia quickly and claim Ethiopia as, because they were the one they were talking about. You are the one they be talking about, but they give you different names. That is why I say it's an embarrassment to claim that you are a Hebrew. It's an embarrassment for Igbo people to be claiming that they are Jews. You are Igbo. And your culture is this Judean culture. You circumcise, your women, when they menstruate, they don't have to stay with you, they don't have to do things, they don't have to cook for you. You maintain all those things. You don't have to prove to anybody and claim a name that came later on, or the name after you. That is not you. You are Igbo. You see? You are Igbo. Let me tell some of our friends. I hear people here calling, how many times you hear somebody calling buffet? Buffet. You see, because that word is on you. It's within your gene. I hear people calling buffet. Buffet. I hear people saying gang banger, gang banger. Gang banger. Gang banging, because gang banger. That girl is in your gene. I have people. We're going to buffet. Because those words are within you. And it comes and you don't know why you call him buffet. So you Igbo, not Igbo. The white man say, the Caucasian come and tell you it's Igbo. And we started writing in Igbo. They tell you Asante is Ashanti. No, there's no tribe in Africa called Ashanti. Don't get mad at me. There's no tribe, there's no ethnic group in Africa or the continent called Africa as Ashanti. It's Asante. Asante. Because they have a place, they have a territory called Asante Man, and their king is Asante Hine. You can never say Ashanti Hine. But when you mention a lot of people in English, who are you? I'm Ashanti. If you ask them in their local language, they say I'm Asante. The same thing with my people. Where are you from? What are you? I'm Ewe. When you ask them in their language, you see, so we have this split personality. When you ask him in English, what is your name? He'll give you Josephine. When you ask him in the language he speaks, what is your name? He'll tell you Enyona. This split personality can take us far. You see, so name is something that the language is something that we need. Everything is within the language. You see, everything is within language. When you want to know your past, it's within the language. Do not follow other people's name because that is a distraction. They did it for a reason. They did it for a reason. You see, they did it for a reason.
20 years
Listen
in
again.
Africa, in particular West Africa and in Israel. And I was surprised. I was up in the Volta region of Ghana, and the Ewe people were talking, and I heard one. It was a church service, and he was talking about people of the Bible, and he said, Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. And I said, well, that's Hebrew. He says, no, that's Ewe. So I said, how do you say Jesus? He said, Jesus. And somebody else says, Yeshua. I said, I could tell what time you came out of that part of the land and came across just by the way you say things.
Okay, the way you say things is what will give us the link that the Agnasium Jew can never, dispute that. So you hear Yebe and Epe, and they say, if my people, who are the people? Epe, who call me by my name. What is the name? Yepe. If my people who call me by my name. I'm not claiming this thing for only Epe people. A lot of people came out from Canaan. The Gans, the Yoruba, the Igbo, the Asante, and a whole lot. Some have their duties scribed for them. Okay, the Anglo of the Ewe are the writers. Of course, Nglo means writing. Okay, and they also hold the Yepe. The Yepe God is their domain, or they are the custodian of the God. That does not make other people lesser or anything. Some people have to be the closest to the God, maintain it, and some people have to be the royal, the lawmakers. Everything is prescribed. That is why they have what? 12 so-called tribes. Each tribe had their duties. Each tribe had their duties. people who take care of the God, the sacrifices, the covenant, to make sure that the law is laid down right, the rulers on one side, the judges on one side. But when they dispersed, some took early exit, some took late exit. They came and find themselves in West Africa. They became enemies. Some came 100 years earlier, mingled with a wrong culture over here on the land. Africa all the time had people. Some came in 300 years later through different detours, mingled with certain people, but the God is in the care of certain people. And that is the Ever. Called the God is Yever. Nobody is saying Evers are Jew. No, that is demeaning. Nobody is saying Evers are Hebrew. That is demeaning. The people say they are not. They deny. They say, no, we are not that. This is Ever. We call Abraham, Ashkok, Jesu, whatever it is. So Yehovah, the same way the Akans and the Gans. The names are the same. The pronunciations are the same. Of these names, Yesu, this, that, you will say those names are Hebrewic names. The people will say, hell no, because somebody is the one naming them like that. And later on, somebody used that to say the Hebrew means Jew. And now you say, we are Jew. No, it's demeaning to say you are a Jew. It's demeaning for Igbo man to say you are a Jew. It's demeaning for Ever man to say you are a Jew. It's demeaning, double demeaning, for an Asante man to say, for a Ga man to say, for a Yoruba man to say, we were the Jew. You are not. Those names are not your name. You find your name. Find your name. Your old name is enough. When people cannot pronounce it, that is their problem. And Ever is not Ewe, and it's not Ever, and Yahweh, and Yeper is not Yahweh, and it's not Yahweh, it's Yeper. If the one you know in the Bible is a God of thunder and lightning, the one the Evers have called Yeper is the same thing, God of lightning and thunder. The Hebioso, that is its nickname. Hebioso. So when you are traveling along, coming to the Volta region, you're going to reach a town called Soga Kope. So, and you're going to pass Sopi before you come to Soga. The short thunder and the big thunder. So it's, the God of thunder is surrounding the people. They use it in their names. They use it in their towns. The Yeper God is everywhere. I have aunties who have Soboli, Maragbaso. The soul name is there. It's God. That is the thunder. Maragbaso, Soboli, Solami. So. We ain't claiming Hebrew. We are the people. Whether you want to call it Hebrew or you want to call it whatever it is, we are not Jew and we are not Hebrew. We are the people. Our God is there. Its name is there. We never departed from it. The people who are custodian of faith. The next time you are in Ghana, go to Nogokbo. That is where the big one is. Yoruba is.